Hi everyone, this is Sam from Booredatwork.com, and today we're having a quick look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Now, the Galaxy Note 4 is the next generation of Galaxy Notes from Samsung. It basically is the successor to the Note 3. Now, what do we get on this device? I'm just going to walk you through the device right now to give you an idea of exactly, what you get when you purchase this device. On the left of the device, we have a volume rocker. Right of the device, we have your power button. On the bottom, we do have your 3.5mm jack and your mic. On the bottom, we have a fingerprint sensor / home button. And also we have some touch sensitive buttons, which will be your recent applications and the back button. So that's a change right there. Where it normally used to be menu and back, you now have recent applications and back. Now, on the top of the device, I'm going to turn this on so we can see that clearly. You have your Samsung logo and also your speaker. You have your front-facing camera, your message indicator light, and up top you have a 3.5mm headphone jack as well as your IR blaster. Now let's flip this over. Faux leather back, correct? Which is something you find on the Note 3 as well. You do have flash. That over there is your heart rate monitor, which is a new addition in the Galaxy Note line, as well as a 16-megapixel camera with OIS, which is a big improvement over the 13-megapixel we had before that did not have OIS on there. So I'm going to pop the back open right now. And what do we have here? We have a 3220 milliamp hour battery. Well, this is not a big difference from the 3200 we had on the Note 3. We also have our SIM card and our SD card slots, as well as our contacts here for accessories, so probably a wireless charging back cover. On the bottom of the device, in case you did not see that, we do have a slot here for our stylus, but I have that out so you can clearly see the stylus. The stylus itself still has, the button, no visible power supply, and it's about roughly the same dimensions of what you'd find on the Note 3. Now, let's get this baby going. All right, as you can see, this still runs on TouchWiz, so you do have that TouchWiz skin on there. But this is actually pretty fluid, as you can see. I'm just going to go through my app library so you can see how fluid this is. That's because this, or should I say the Note 4, is actually running on the Snapdragon 805 processor from Qualcomm. Now, what that means is you are getting a lot more power at about 2.7 gigs as opposed to the 2.3 you had on the Note 3 and its Snapdragon 800. Both devices, the Note 3 and the Note 4, come with about 3 gigs of RAM. So on that end, nothing's really changed. The screen size also has stayed the same, which is about a 5.7-inch screen size. However, as you can see, this screen here is a lot more vibrant than what you'd find on the Note 3. And why is that? That's simply because we now have the QHD display. So while this is still a super AMOLED display similar to the Note 3, the QHD here means that you're getting a resolution of about 2560 by 1600. So your pixel density there is about 515 pixels per inch, which is significantly higher than what you find in your Note 3. So this is what's giving you that really bright, vibrant screen on this device. Now, what else has changed on the device? We don't have basically water resistance. That's the IP67 rating on this device, like what you would find on the S5. However, what has changed is, or what we have instead of that is a quick charging mode, right? So yes, we don't have wireless charging and we don't have the waterproofing, but we do have basically a quick charging mode and a ultra battery save mode. So first off, the quick charging mode means that I can go from basically dead to 50% charge in about half an hour. I've actually done this in about 26 to 28 minutes. So that's actually pretty impressive for a 3220 milliamp hour battery. So that means, hey, I can get basically a good day's worth of use on 30 minutes of charge. So that's impressive, right? Now, let's jump to that ultra power saving mode. What that means is that I can now basically, when I get down to the teens, I can turn on the ultra power saving mode and have my device working for at least another hour or so. So that really helps me out. It means that this device is always going to, basically will last through a full day of use. And I am not mincing words when I say this. I've used this for a couple of days and I have not had this die on me until I actually decided not to charge it overnight. So that's impressive. Fingerprint scanner is something that we saw on the Galaxy S5 and has been brought over to the Galaxy Note line. The heart rate monitor as well on the back is something that's also been brought over by the S5 line. Now, over from the S5 line. Now, let's look at the build of this particular device. Whereas your Note 3 was a plastic and full leather affair, we now have the Note 4 with the full leather, yes, but also with a metal band around this, making this a very nice melding of metal and plastic to give you probably the best, most premium feel phone that you would probably have handled from from Samsung. The best way to describe the Note 4 is basically if you had the Galaxy S5 and the Galaxy Alpha put into some kind of molecular combinator and then spits out a bigger version, this is what you get. It takes the best of the Galaxy S5, the best of the Alpha, melds them into a compelling design language, and you can definitely see that on the build quality of the Note 4. Now, all in all, this is an amazing device. I've used this for a few days and I have not been disappointed. Now, the biggest standout feature here for me is, as always, it's a Note device, so the biggest standout feature is still the stylus. And why is that the case? I'll show you right here, right? Taking notes on this is pretty easy. You basically pop out S notes. I'm gonna basically say I'm done with this. It's gonna save it. Great. Now I wanna go back and I wanna add a new note. I'm gonna add a new note, and right off there, I'm gonna say Black Iron Man. Rocks. See that? That's what happens when you increase the sensitivity of the stylus. The stylus here is, the sensitivity on the stylus is actually double that of what you'd find on the Note 3. So basically taking notes, being creative, being creative here, you have a higher responsive rate on here, a higher level of precision on here than you would on the Note 3. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to save this. I'm done with this note. Okay, and save. I'm going to have to delete this later. But this being the case, I haven't really used a actual pen and paper since I've got this device. And that's saying something because I take a lot of notes. Now I'm going to get out of here and show you something else that this stylus really aids you with. I'm going to open up my browser. So let's go to the browser over here. Okay, I'm going to use Chrome for this. Now this is at Booredatwork.com. So let's say I want to go to, let's see, let's get out of Booredatwork.com and say, why not go back into BooredatWork.com? It's a pretty awesome site. So we'll go to Bored, B-O-O-R-E-D, at work.com. And we have one misspelling here. So we'll move that. This is an A right there. And then we're going to, right there, Booredatwork, and it did not recognize the dot. There, and we'll just launch that. So basically that is how you could use the pen to basically write text, jump into any of the text fields, you can actually use the stylus to actually through the handwriting recognition to basically launch a bunch of websites, write your text, write emails, or things of that nature, which makes this amazingly useful. The device is actually a very beautiful device to look at, a very vibrant screen, great internals, especially with the OIS camera on the rear, 60 megapixel camera. All in all, this is probably the best flagship of the year. I don't think I'm mincing words when I say that. I don't think anyone's really going to disagree with me when I say that this is the best flagship of the year. Also, probably the best device that we've seen from Samsung to date, which is the Galaxy Note 4. Once again, this is Sam at Booredatwork.com, and this is Samsung's Galaxy Note 4. Enjoy your entertainment.